Woohoo! Here we go, Oracle. Hey, everybody. Starting out with a little Lizzo. Right. So we are so excited today. We have so many incredible things to share with everybody. And if you're just popping on, we do have like a really fun opportunity for someone to win a sacred crystal necklace today.
Yes.
Arissa, hi! Yay! Welcome. Let us know where you're from, where you're messaging us at. And we are just making sure that our tech is really clear before we get started. Okay, I think I see us.
Oh, it's so fun seeing everyone here. Hello.
Ooh, hi everyone. Yay.
So fun.
Well, like my computer isn't working, but it's okay. Like I want to see everyone.
Oh, Arissa's here. I'm so excited.
I'm having a hard time sharing it.
Uh-oh. Brittany's in the house.
Or just waiting. Oh, this is so fun. I'm so excited. So excited.
Okay, so shared it on all. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Jimmy. That's my cousin.
Yes.
Hello, Sam's cousin.
Yay. So if you guys are just getting on. Ooh, where did Jen go? Uh-oh. It's okay. She'll be back. Hi, Melissa. Lake Oswego. Awesome. And let's send the tech god and goddesses a little bit of love.
Hi, Lucy. I can't share it. It's so silly.
Are you sharing it from the Solit page?
Yeah, I'll try.
Let me see. I'll tag Susan here. Yay. So if you guys are just getting on. Ooh, where did Jen go?
I love that. That's the part that Sam plays. Right? Oh, that's so
back.
good.
She's on her way back.
Okay, here we go. So as we wait for Jen, should I talk about the crystal?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. So as you guys know, this is going to be a 3-part masterclass. So we're going to do a little giveaway. Really, really excited. It is with Sacred Crystal Company, which is the owner of it is Ricardo, Indigo's dad. And we are so excited. It is a rose quartz in rose gold, intuitively hand wrapped crystal. It's so juicy. Like I love it. And we all wear them. It's a beautiful necklace. Yes. And so all you have to do is share the class, the live. That's it. Let us know that you shared it. We'll put you in a drawing. And then at the end of the 3 days, we'll see who wins it.
Yes.
And each day is like you get to share it again. Right?
Yes.
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 It's like a 3-day giveaway, right?
Yes.
Right.
Like I think that just makes the most sense. So. So please share this. Let us know that you shared it, and we'll put you in the raffle. I think I can put a little picture of it in the comments.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yes.
I don't know if you can put pictures.
Yeah, I think you can.
Ooh,
Ooh, yay. So just remember, so today is like a portal. Like it's not just for us, like it's for the entire planet. So thank you so much for showing up and creating this portal together. We're like, oh my gosh, thank you for sharing, Melissa. I'm writing your name down right now.
I started at 1:20, so
and
Jen can't hear us.
No, you can. Just
she
keep
can't?
everything.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't. You're fine. You can go in and out. Just make sure it stays closed.
Maybe Jen wants to come in and out. Does she want to sign out and come back in?
This is going to be so big, like this class, like the tech is just like showing us that, like, everything's just like, it's gonna be crazy. Man, I don't think you can add a photo to a comment.
You want to text it to me? I might be able to add it.
Thank you, Kayla.
Yay, we have so many people sharing. Thank you so much, everybody. So yeah, again, this is like, think about us changing the way that we see the world and how powerful that's going to be, because like, here we go, Jen's that one. Because like when we change how we see the world, like the chi is different. The chi is moved. Like instead of focusing on what you don't want, you're actually using your life force energy to generate and create what you do want. And us working on this as a collective is going to be so powerful. And we are diving into the most incredible concepts today. Like this is not going to be like any other masterclass you've been in. And we're just so excited.
It's definitely a really strong intention field.
Let's see. Just making sure Jen can hear us. Can you hear us, Jen?
No. I love that she's like working and listening to the masterclass. That's amazing.
Okay, so keep talking, everybody. I'm gonna send a photo of what this crystal looks like.
It's so beautiful. Like I'm gonna be holding it the whole time. It's so good. So nice. Rose quartz is all about unconditional love, and when I think about unconditional love, it's accepting love in all forms, right? Self-love, giving love, receiving love, and it's just like it's going to help break through any stagnant energy within the heart. It's interesting because we can hear Jen typing, so it's like we can hear Jen, and Jen looks so pretty.
She does. She can't hear us, but she feels it.
Loving Jen. I'm wondering what we can do. Do we want to just sign out completely and come back on, or should we just keep moving forward? Oh,
well, in that way, we need to see everyone that shared it.
I'm troubleshooting right now, Sam. Hold on.
Oh, okay, perfect. Perfect.
Just keep talking.
So, as we wait for Jen, let's get our intentions as a group really, really clear. So if you guys have a moment and type in what you intend for today, knowing that this is a 3-day journey that we get to take together. What do you want to feel today? What are your intentions with this masterclass? Yeah, so just remember, thank you guys for sharing, and each day you get to share again, so you have three chances.
Yes.
I'm going to be playing with this the whole time. It's like, so I'm like, I'll just wear it. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, like this sacred crystal has just like, it has like transported me like so much. Like, it's not like one of these, but like it feels just like,
Ricardo is such a brilliant like maker, a brilliant creator. And he really taps into the energy of the stone. He really taps into what does the stone want. There's a loud truck. Sorry. But he does. It's such an intentional, intuitive process. He gets grounded and centered before even, tapping in. It's just a really beautiful experience. So this is a very high intentional and high frequency crystal. Ooh, so good. I want to get closer to my intuition. Yes, and that's just
I love that.
Deeper expansion outside of social norms and expectations. Oh, it's so good.
Yay, I love that. Okay, so you're working on it, Momo? Yeah. I'm wondering if you don't think we should just shut it off, turn it back on, or...
You can't see on your end if she's muted or not, right?
She's not, I don't see her at all right now.
Yeah, she's not in yet.
Oh, here we go. She's coming back in. Okay. All right,
Try
everyone.
one more
Strong
time.
intentions. Strong intentions. Strong intentions. Come
We got
on.
44 people here, so that's.
Can you hear us, Jen? Tell us you can hear us.
Yes!
Yay!
Thanks,
Woo-hoo!
guys.
Okay. Thank you, test gods, goddesses. Yes. So good. Okay,
We're so ready. We're so
yes. All right. So let's dive in. Again, like anything that you do in life, when you claim that it's going to be powerful, when you decide today, you're going to commit to today, tomorrow, and the next day, and you're going to make it life changing because you're making that powerful decision, which is like the electricity running through your system is like, this is a heck yes, like all the way. That's how the portal gets created. And we're going to hold powerful, incredible space for your intentions to come to life. And we're going to be here with you, but you have to be 110% in with us so that we can make this change with you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yay, thanks for sharing, everybody. Woohoo!
Yes,
Magic
we have
numbers.
such a magical group of people here. So excited. Momo, do you want to talk about the 7th plane and our intention with this whole class? Because it's going to be amazing.
Totally. Okay. So today, our intention today, our focus today is awareness, Oracle. So it's about opening up your eyes to be able to tap into that awareness that comes from the cosmic part of you, the multiverse part of you. And so we've been at Solar, we've been reading this book called The 7th Plane of Existence, where there's different planes of existences. We're on the 3rd plane, the 3D. 5D is the one that we hear about all the time, going, we're coming into 5D, right? And then the 6th plane is the plane of laws. So the law of the physics, so physical law and the emotional law. So law of attraction, law of abundance, law of magnetism, that's the emotion, bundle of laws and the emotions. The physical would be like gravity and all that stuff, right? And then the 7th plane is where the creator of all that is, which is a part of who we are, which is the cosmic part of us. This is the multiverse part of us. This is the part of us that gets to access all dimensions, right? So today we're going to be tapping into that plane in the very beginning. We're going to bring us all into that plane together, and then we're going to allow things to unravel and your awareness to basically to open your eyes from that level of awareness in that plane.
Yeah, and I want to elaborate on that plan just like a little bit, is like when you're with Cosmic Mother, Cosmic Father, it's like every single color of the rainbow is there. It's like every single sparkle you can imagine is in that space. And so sometimes we're trying to make a change, a transformation, and we may not have enough energy to make that jump. But when you're like in the plane of the cosmos, it's like that is your space to like grab all the free desserts, go to the buffet, get everything that you want, so it's like this is your space to like really just like download, take everything that you need so that you can get yourself to that next level. So here we go.
All right. Let's start with taking a few long deep breaths. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, does Jen want to guide us or Momo's guiding us? Just kidding.
Jen's gonna guide us. Take us, Jen.
Oh, I was like, okay. All right, so we're just going to take some super nice deep breaths. Just ground in with your body, connect in. And as you connect in with your body, this is about bringing all the multi-dimensional pieces of yourself in here, right? So many times maybe we're tapped out with the body, we are not able to receive the messages. So we're going up into the 7th plane, connecting into our solar stars, our soul star above our head, connecting into all of the solar stars, the sun's going past, rising above those planes, going beyond a fog, almost into this 7th plane existence, this atmosphere that holds all of, like Sam said, I'm seeing the buffet of desserts. It's all the colors of the rainbow, all the multi-aspects of this self. So it's all the places of this unconditional love. And just let it start to trickle into your being, right? what does that look like to have all parts and all aspects of yourself, of the colors, of the places, of even the shadows in this place of love, in this place of magic? And the multiverses that are you. And as you begin to integrate in all of these pieces, what does your future that you begin to see, what does this future self, all these aspects and things of yourself, what does this start to look like? What does the fullness of you look like? What is it capable of? What is she able to create? What is it that she's able to see?
And just take a moment, just breathe deep into yourself. Take a moment and see your future version of you standing there in your personal paradise. So if that's the beach, go to the beach. If that's, on a beautiful cliff overlooking the lands, take yourself there. If that's at the top of the Eiffel Tower, take yourself there. Like, take yourself to your personal sweet space and see the most powerful version of you standing there, your future self, the one that you already see in your wild imagination. You've seen her, you've felt glimmers of her, you know her. Connect with that aspect of you. You know him, the wizard, the sorcerer, the person that is here to create so much magic. Connect with that aspect of you.
All right.
Look down at your feet, see that version of you.
Okay, so we're gonna actually take you up to the seventh plane now. I'm gonna have you close your eyes. Imagine your body just like floating molecules, right? Your cells, every single part of your body, your cells are shimmering and like floating out, and it's merging with the air around you, merging with the seat that you're sitting on, the ground, the earth. It's starting to flood out and flow out into the atmosphere around you. Bring that out into the city that you're in. Let it expand and grow out into the state that you're in, the country that you're in. Keep breathing as you expand out outside of the planet of Mama Earth, out into the atmosphere of the universe, the galaxy. Long deep breaths here as you expand out and see all the different universes out in the galaxy, moving through 2 layers of silver and gold light, and kind of expanding out into this like gel-like material. Keep going. You're expanding more and more and more, and going through this beautiful white, glimmering, cloudy material, and you coming all the way up to the 7th plane, allowing all of your molecules to merge into that creator of all that is. Merge with that light. See all the molecules, the subatomic particles of these cells sparkling, glimmering, becoming a part of this light, seeing how your molecules are basically merged with all that exists. It all looks the same. Just take a moment and breathe all of that in. Noticing that the light, that all that is, looks exactly like the light that's in you. Beautiful. Go ahead and open your eyes. Welcome to the 7th plane.
Yay! Yay!
All right.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
How's my sound? Is this sound okay? I can't tell, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah.
Great, perfect. Okay. All right, let's get started. Yay.
So we want to go into unveiling the illusions that cloud your vision. So now that we're all on the 7th plane, we know what it feels like to be merged with the universe, merged with what the creator or the energy of all that is, right? From this place, we're able to powerfully look into the illusions that are clouding our vision, right? So this would include stuff like asking yourself the powerful questions that help open you up to your desires, help open you up to your soul, and help open you up to your heart. So asking yourself if there was no such thing as consequences, if you felt safe and enough right now, right here, and no matter what you did, that safety and that feeling of enoughness was always with you, what do you truly desire?
Yeah, because that desire is really cosmic source energy speaking to you directly, right? And so there's so many of us that have these like past lives, and maybe you're not feeling it here, but there's something if you're not experiencing what you're envisioning in your life right now, then there's a thought process, a story that says you can't have that or it's going to be hard. So what we want to clean up is all the tiny stories that disconnect you from being able to actualize the desire right now, embody the desire, feel the desire now. So when you're really clear about what your desire is, that is your soul speaking to you. And so many of us have been shut down and say, oh, you can't really desire that. You can't really have that. Or it's going to take a really, really long time. Well, I'm hearing an echo. So are you guys hearing that?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, like, oh, that's so weird. Anyways, keep talking. I'm going to take this off.
I think it might be Jen.
Someone's laptop, is it muted?
It's.
On the
I think
laptop
it's.
and on the phone at the same time. If you can mute your laptop, it should be good.
Maybe is this going to help?
Jen can't hear us, so she can't hear it.
Oh, this is what happens when you go to the seventh plane.
Tech is like, what is seventh plane?
Is that better?
So,
is it still doing it?
So while they're figuring that out, I'm going to real quick. Arissa has this question about having a headache, and she was asking if it's a normal thing to have a headache or feel kind of like motion sickness when you go through the seventh plane. And this actually ties in exactly what Sam was talking about, is the denser energies, the denser thought forms, the denser vibrations, right, that are coming from either doubt, grief, any kind of resistance that might not be in alignment with the seventh plane can show up in like a headache or a not good feeling, right? So for me, for example, when I'm resisting something where there's a thought form that isn't in alignment with the highest frequency that I'm either tapping into or looking into or calibrating to, right? What happens is I feel a little bit of a nausea. So that nausea is almost like trying not to let go of that resistance, whatever that is. And it's like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go up there. I don't want to go up there. So that for me, I feel that in my diaphragm as nausea. So when to me, that's my guidance system telling me. And I know this because I've done this before and I know how my guidance system speaks to me, right? But it feels like that nausea and it's like, oh, something is off and there's something that I'm still trying to hold on to. And that's why there's this pull and it doesn't feel good, right?
Yes.
And if there's like a headache, for example, and I've experienced this in a different way too, is it's funny when I'm having like, as I'm going up into the higher planes, as I'm calibrating to a higher frequency, it can show up as a headache when I'm having thought forms, like actual thoughts, as it's happening that are going against that frequency, that are like fighting against it, right? So it could be thoughts like, is this real? Is this gonna work? Like, I'm scared. I'm worried about seeing what it might be like. Whatever those frequencies might be, whatever those thought forms are, could feel like a headache. If I take this even further, it's happened before where I legitimately, my head would start to hurt the second I started thinking thoughts that were against my desire. So especially when you create a really, really strong intention, like I intend and decide that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going into the seventh plane. I am going to calibrate this higher frequency. I'm going to calibrate to my desires. I decide that I get to have what I want. A strong intention like that comes in, and then a thought form that doesn't match that comes in. It literally feels like my brain hurts. Like, ow, ow, ow. It's literally like neurons pulling you in the other direction. when you've already created a really strong intention in the other direction. So it's like that tension, right? Natural tension that hurts, that really, really hurts. And
So
it feels like your brain is on fire. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, I was just getting like this little pop in too, is that like I used to get like migraine headaches and lose my vision and, you know, all this fun stuff. That was like crazy. But headaches used to be like my thing, right? And what I was feeling was this massive awakening of my third eye and my crown chakra. And it was like, seriously, like my brain was like rearranging, energy was flowing in differently. And like my resistance to that, like there's part of me that's like, yes, I'm all in. And then there's another part of me that's like, ooh, that's scary. Like, I don't know if I want to see like that or, you know, whatever. And this is just radical honesty with myself during those times. And the minute that I just like surrendered in, just like Momo was saying, like I don't ever get headaches anymore. And so I really do feel like when we expand our consciousness, like things have to rearrange. And sometimes like that's a stomach ache or that's, you know, we have physical bodies. So we're going to feel it physically. And I always just found joy in it. Like that's what I try to do. I try to find joy in the expansion, and then usually it would like cease.
Absolutely. And Stephanie's question here, feeling also up as tears and heaviness. Yes. So that heaviness is exactly what we were talking about, that dense energies, those dense thought forms, right? That when you go up into that plane, it can't exist there. And so they're being released out of you. They literally are being released out of you. Tears is a beautiful form of release. There's such a power in water, right? Coming out of your eyes that just cleanses your eyes with like joy, because water has the consciousness of joy. Coming out of your eyes is very symbolic. It's not just coincidence, right? And then what Mason was talking about, the different ways that your body reacts physically, is know that that's your inner guidance. That is your guidance system telling you exactly what's happening. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Usually it's a great thing. We just see it as bad or think that it's not good or not acceptable. But it's literally this beautiful guidance system that is just a part of us that we get to access and get information from to know what's happening. And that level of clarity really, really helps develop that trust within yourself, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's really about like just creating harmony in your system, you know? So it's like, you know, as we continue to move through, it's like you're going to see, yes, you have this desire. Yes, you want to move forward. But what are all the tiny little voices inside that are saying you can't, or it's not possible, or it's going to take a long time? And that's kind of, those are the aspects that we want to like dive into today. And you know, some have called it your shadow. We're going to be calling it your shadow goddess. And we want to break down the different aspects of the shadow goddess, because it's not, there's the shadow goddess that has been bruised from the past, like she's wounded. You know, she had to force herself to express herself before she was ripe and ready. But then there's another aspect of the shadow that isn't spoken about very often, which is like the potential, like the raw potential of like who this mystical person can be. Like there's so much like energy that hasn't even been formed, created, or expressed yet. And the thing is, like when we're silencing ourselves and when we're not allowing ourselves to go into the unknown, those aspects of us never get to be fully expressed. And if you're never fully expressing yourself, the energetics of your system is never fully turned on in the present moment. And if your energy level isn't fully turned on in the present moment, it doesn't give you enough momentum to take you to this desire that you actually want to, you know, experience.
Yeah. So expanding on that shadow goddess, right? She is the goddess, the divine goddess that clarifies your desires for you. She's the one that embodies the value of the quote bad emotions. So there's emotions that don't feel good, right? But we label them as bad. And there's emotions that feel good that we label them as good. But actually the good and bad feeling emotions both have the same amount of value. They both come with potent messages, right? They're just as valuable as the good feeling. The bad ones are just as valuable as the good feeling ones. So she's the one that's holding the value of the quote bad feeling ones, right? And she's like that like badass that breaks all the rules. that kind of like doesn't give a fuck, right? And like she's the wild goddess that like has this fiery desire and is like that's where that desire is born from. Like she is the one that holds that. And so it's kind of like that God, what was it? The Black Moon Lilith, I think, in terms of planet, right?
Yes.
Like the goddess of underworld. I don't know exactly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like that's what I imagine. Like that dark goddess. She is gorgeous. She is sexy. She is fiery. She is like the epitome of desire, right? And she's stopping at nothing. Like that's where that like energy comes from. So when you can tap into her without making it bad and allow that wild part of her to come out of you, that's when you get to fully allow yourself to feel your desires. Like that first question that we started with of if you felt safe and enough and there was no consequences to having your desires come true, what will you allow yourself to truly desire? What is that core desire coming from that shadow goddess within you?
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just I'm tapping into this feeling of the group, right? Because we have this magical group with us right now. And I'm feeling like there's resistance around the shadow, right? Because there's so much stigma, which is what Momo was talking about, but it's breaking the stigma and not being afraid of the shadow because you are the light. And when we embrace the shadow, we're embracing another part of ourselves that has always, always, always been there. Right? That's the thing is like, this isn't new. It's just clearing up a lot of resistance that you have within yourself. That's how I see it. And I used to be, I remember years ago, someone's like, you need to like do shadow work. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. That's bad, And it's just like, no, that's scary. So I just want to invite you into this space of like, it's not scary because it is a part of you. Right? It's not separate. We're coming into this space where there's no separateness of you. This is just a part of you that needs more love. That's how I work with the shadow. I shine light and love on the shadow. And I'm like, oh, it's like baby Mason. I'm like, oh, hello, baby Mason, or like baby Sam, whoever you are. And you can just be like, oh, I love you. I love all parts of you because you make me. Like, that's how I work within the shadow. And it takes away that like scary stigma of like darkness or, when we say the dark goddess, you might be like, oh, bad, or witchcraft or whatever, because we do have past lives, right? We have stigma in society and past lives and ancestral programming that tells us certain things are bad or good. And we have to be able to work through that consciously. So I always think of my shadow as my little baby that needs love.
Yes, absolutely. Because the thing is, unless we integrate this wild aspect of ourselves, like there's no way for us to do something powerful in the world, because the thing that is truth is defiance of most of society, because society teaches you a way to play it safe, but that's an illusion. There's no way to create that sense of safety unless you feel safe within yourself. And the only way to feel safe within yourself is to not be afraid of yourself. Like, you have to love all the different aspects of you, and it's like going back, looking at your pseudo mistakes and seeing them as like, oh my God, though every single decision I made was loving me, was for me. Every single thing that I thought happened to me happened for me. And then you start to build this powerful love container within yourself, because you're like, oh, I love every single aspect of myself. I love all the expressions. I love when I show up perfect or when I don't show up perfect. Like, I love every single way that it shows. Like, even right now we're being, it's like, oh, Jen keeps popping in and out. And it's like, and part of us is like, oh no. But then like the other part of us is like, you just have to show up, right? It's just life. It's like, you never know what's going to happen. And you just have to go all in right now in this powerful moment, like every single powerful moment. And that's how you get to the next best thing, is like you put all of your eggs in the basket of right now. Like, this is going to be the most epic day today. All the energy is going to be today. And tomorrow is going to be even more awesome than today. And then you just keep building the momentum.
So I wanted to touch on what Mason was saying around the shadow goddess and how you love on her, right? So when the shadow goddess isn't being heard, and she's badass, right? She's like badass, like queen of like darkness, right? you don't mess with her. So if you don't listen to her, if you don't give her the attention and acknowledgement and love that she deserves, she will rise up and make sure she is heard. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's her
Yes.
energy. That's where that desire comes from. That wild part of her needs to be heard. It needs to be expressed. So the more you can love on her, and so instead of being scared of her, just like Amazing was saying, love on her. Listen to what she's got to say. Like,
Yes.
what's the wisdom that you have for me, right? And I love this analogy that one of our favorite money coaches, Genevieve, talked about in her course. But this idea that fear of like, ooh, that's bad, ooh, that's scary, I just don't know if I want to look at it, I'm not sure. It's almost like a kid who thinks that there's a monster under the bed, right? And it's like, whether that monster is there or not, you won't know until you look under the bed. Worst case scenario, yeah, there'll be a fucking monster and then you'll deal with it, right? Or like, it might just be a shadow of what you thought it was. Like, it might be like a shadow of a bug that looked like a monster, right?
Yes.
And it's like, but until you look at what that monster is for you, whatever that is, whatever that fear is, whatever that shadow is, right? Like, you won't know. And that the goddess within you that illuminates that for you is that shadow goddess. She is the one that's going, hey, I might look like a monster, but I'm not. You know, I'm just trying to get your attention. You're not listening to me. You're not looking at me. So I'm gonna create this monster so you can look at me. You know. So
I am representing the shadow goddess in the way of the things that it feels like doesn't want to be seen, right? Like, there's so many places and aspects that we have been told, believe, bought into. It's like I haven't been able to hear you guys, but I love you, feel you. And just in the sense of, it's like there's so much shame and guilt that we hold in the way that we see ourselves, right? There's so many places that are separate. And if, like, we're talking about the shadow goddess, it's the aspects that we put so much that shadow means bad, right? And I'm sure you guys have probably already maybe gone into it, but there is no difference between good and bad. They're all just important. They're all as sacred. And the illumination of what it is that is hidden is like what activates your greatest light. And so it's like within that, I'm just, thinking of, like, was sitting with, I was like, sorry, I've been in the shadow for so long now.
No, this is so good. I'm like, just keep talking.
Yeah.
But it's like, but it's like, the shadow though, it's that if you think about it, everything that is being born, that is being created, is born in the shadow. It's born in the dark. That is the magic. That is the womb of creation. That is the mystery of the unknown. And so when you can awaken that inner perception, your inner eyes into that, wow, like that cavernous, like, whether we call it the black void or the cosmic cosmic womb, like that darkness is where the fucking magic happens. It's where all the mystery is. It's where the potency is. And it's so deep. And so by being afraid of it, by not looking into it, we miss so much that is there waiting for us, waiting to be a full part of ourselves, be a full part of the creation and the magic and the mystery. And it's like, it's, the only thing that I can compare it to is birth, in the way that sometimes, whether you're having birth vaginally or a cesarean, it's a major thing, right? And so my experience was like vaginally, so it's like you're coming, you come to that ring of fire and it's like, oh my God, I'm just gonna rip wide open, like, well, I can't go any further. And then it's like you push past and it's like, oh, why didn't I do that so long ago? Like, that release, it's like, really, there's such power in the potency, but you have to go through it. You have to be in it and you have to see it. It's like the only way you can get clarity is to go through it and to be there with it.
I love this message from Anita. She said, is it possible that I suppressed the shadow goddess, and that's why I manifested insanely dark things in the past few months? And I always say, like, like, God will whisper until God needs to scream, right? And because, like, God's like, hey, your life is supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be fun and joyful and awesome. And then you're like, that joy is bad. Like, that passion is not good. That's bad. And then it's like, that energy starts to compound. And that's when the negative thing happens. The negative thing happens because we don't let the good things in. And that's not like judgment on anybody. It's just what we've been taught. It's just what we've been trained to do. Like, oh, that feeling's too good. Like, suppress it. That's not okay. And we have to talk to those little tiny parts of ourselves. And sometimes that voice is so quiet, we don't always hear it, you know? So at least for me, it's like, if I have a judgment about another person in that moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's part of my shadow. I'm like, thank you for showing me that judgment. That's some homework that I need to do inside. Yes. It's not about that person. It's a message for me that I've been ignoring a part of myself, and I need to call her back and integrate her, you know? Yes. Or somebody says something and then suddenly I'm like, oh my God, they hate me. They like triggered me, right? It's like, then I get to be like, okay, that's my baby, Samantha. What does that really mean? You know, it's like, it's literally like a sentence. And I'm like, oh my God, that sentence is like yelling at me and like ripping me a new hole. But like, that's not really what's happening, right? It's really more just like, it's a message for us to go within to clean it out, because this is the violence that we see expressed externally, is the unprocessed violence that's like within ourselves, the harmony that wants to be created within us, right? And there's so much harmony, so much music that wants to be created in your cellular system, in the way that your own organs communicate, in the way that the tiny groups around you communicate. You know, when one day my mom, she read this book and she's like, hey, like, if you just wake up and you just tell yourself you're happy, like everything will change, you know? And I took that to heart, and I suddenly started waking up and being like, oh my God, the blankets are so soft. Everything feels so good. I decided to change my perspective. And I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, suddenly I was guided to get LASIK surgery. Like, and it was like, I went on a walk with a friend. He told me his whole family got LASIK. I went home that day. 30 minutes later, I'm on the bus with my mom. And they said, if you get surgery today, it's 50% off. And it was like so crazy. But it was like in that moment, I changed my perspective of reality, and the cosmos gifted me my eyes back. Like I didn't have to wear glasses anymore, you know? And it was like that physical reflection happened because I changed my perspective on how I was seeing the world.
So I just see a lot of new people coming on. So I just want to remind you guys, and if you are here, hold on, my brain hurts. Welcome to Soul Lit. We move real fast. So we're powerful. So for really quick, we are doing a giveaway for this. So I just see so many new people on, and I want you guys to have the opportunity to win this beautiful rose gold handmade rose quartz crystal necklace by Sacred Crystal Company, intuitively made for this. So I just want to share, and we will put you in a raffle. Let us know you shared it. I just felt like I saw a lot of new people come on.
Absolutely.
But, I also want to invite you all into a feeling of what relief you feel when you stop resisting yourself, right? And that's what we're talking about, because the shadow is part of you. And when we're fighting, you're creating this resistance, this tension within yourself projected outward onto your relationships, you know, in every situation with your clients, depending on, you know, if you're in a partnership, if you're a mother, whatever, is going to be projected outward. And it's like this sweetness, this lightness that comes in when you finally surrender to yourself. Literally, that's all it is. And it's just like, oh, I get to love on all parts of me. And it's so, so beautiful. And like literally today, I went deeper into this, like today. And so that's why I want to invite you into this feeling that you're observing almost. You're like, I feel grief and I feel sadness and I can feel this, but I feel so light because I'm not grasping anymore. I'm not trying to fight, you know, the inevitable of peace and calmness, right? And when we're not embracing all parts of ourselves, the shadow god is asking, what do I truly desire? Because it's okay to desire what you want. It feels like havoc within our body. And seriously, the minute, like I was laying on the couch today and I was just like, I feel it. I feel it. This isn't I didn't read this, you can hear it, but when you feel it, this is just so enlightening, and it's what you're searching for, and what you're searching for is yourself, and it's literally there right now, the moment that you just say, yes, okay, hi, like, I love you. What do you have to show me? Because there's so much wisdom in the shadow.
Yes, absolutely. And as you were talking about that, like, it also reminded me of the concept of, like, little tiny things like the need to prove, like, if you're in the process of creating something and you create it from the perspective, from the chi particles of need to prove, you're going to create more need to prove, right? Versus, like, if you're creating from the perspective of, oh my gosh, Cosmos loves this so much, like, I love this so much, everybody is going to love this program or whatever it is that you're creating, like, they're going to love this so much, because you're seeing with those eyes and you're using that perspective. Yes. Like, the thing that you're creating just creates more of that, and I feel like that's just, like, such a huge concept that, like, I think the old paradigm is, like, sacrifice right now so that you can make your riches, or, like, just work hard, push yourself to the point where it's like you don't even feel good anymore, but you'll get a reward later. And it's like, it doesn't actually work that way. The universe loves you so much. Like, whatever you're doing right now is what's attracting the next moment.
Absolutely. And that proving vibe that you were talking about is that fighting vibe, fighting against something, whether that's yourself or someone else's perspective, but it's this fighting vibe. It's this going against vibe. And this is the opposite of exactly what Mason was talking about, is that surrender. When you're surrendering, you let go. You're not fighting against anything. You're not fighting for anything. You're being for you. And I just loved I wanted to like pop in and say this. Jennifer's comment, how her brain hurts. And then years ago, she was saying that I was out of alignment with my work. I knew it, I heard it, and didn't do anything about it. Then ended up in the hospital on a Saturday, quit my job Monday, and have never had this issue again.
Resistance.
So, exactly. Just like Sam said, when you don't hear God's whisper, God's going to scream. Cosmos is going to scream. Shadow goddess is going to scream, right? It's this level of surrendering. Right? Like, it's the level of surrender that you have to be able to allow that to open up. Go ahead.
So the reason why that's so important, one really fast, like, the reason why that's so important is that's how many people you're affecting. Like, when you're off track, the ripple effect of the energy field is so big that the universe has to be like, no, redirect this, like, that's how powerful you are. Otherwise, it wouldn't do that. Go ahead, Jen. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's trust, right? It's the
virtue of trust
and building. It's building in that inner knowing that every moment, it's like when you are listening to that inner guidance, that voice can grow and grow, because it doesn't have to be a whisper or a screaming, right? It can be a steady voice. And this is where the dark goddess, the shadow goddess, is that aspect, because what it is, it's the stillness. It's the being. It's not the efforting. It's not the resisting. It's the trusting that even if you don't know what it looks like or what it's going to be, that there's an innate wisdom inside of you that is guiding you, that is leading you, that is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. And it can be that steady stream, so that all of the times when, one feels separate, or it's all the micro frequencies that come in that separate you from love. And the point is, the multiverse of yourself is that every fucking aspect is actually loved. Every aspect is a part of love. And so when you can begin to see that through the eyes of trust, of trusting that, wow, this place inside of myself is meant to be loved. And maybe I can start to nurture this love and this trust in it, everything else follows.
Yeah, it's like even like with Sam's story of, like, I judged this person. It's like, even... Oh, I love that. Her headache's gone.
I love that.
I get distracted. I'm like, I love that so much. But with Sam's story of, like, this is that feeling of, I judged someone. This is, and it's like, even loving on the self that was judging them, right? And it's like, oh, okay, like I get to love on every single part of myself, even the little parts that you think are bad, you know? And this, again, like we're all saying the same thing, and it's like, it's not bad. It really is. And it's like so beautiful in its own unique way.
Yeah, so, and that judging voice a lot of times is like, oh, thank you for protecting me. Thank you for thinking that you need to like protect me from this person. Like, oh, that person's this big scary monster or whatever, you know. But then you realize like, oh my gosh, everything's created from love. Like that makes no sense, you know. Right. But you really have to, you kind of have to look at the computer program and not make it be about you, you know, like realizing like, okay, this program is passed down from ancestors, past life, from the Mahat, which is like the collective consciousness. And like, we really dive deep into that in Wild Femme Magic. Like if anybody wants to be in this program, it's such an incredible container. Like, I mean, we have been going through our own initiations as we're stepping into the portal of creating Wild Femme Magic. Like it's like, whoa, you know, it's like you don't even know like your own shadows sometimes. And the thing is, it's like it's so powerful and beautiful when you integrate all the aspects of you, because unless you connect with your wild goddess inside, unless you connect with your powerful future goddess, you're going to be playing by the rules, and playing by the rules is slow. Playing by the rules is hard. There's a lot of sacrifice involved. But when you're able to just like decide to release the rules, set aside the rules, the ones that don't work for you, like let those go and purely create from
I'm also like
oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just like within you're saying the rules. I'm like, and because they're usually somebody else's rules.
They're
not yours. You know?
They're not yours.
It's not about like throwing rules out the window. It's that you'll find that I've been living according to someone else's rules. And when you get to see that and understand like how liberating that is, it's like next level.
So this, I feel like they're like, to bring a little bit of playfulness into here. I have a wonderful story that a client told me about this, about rules, right? And why we do things. And it really illuminates the power of our ancestors, right? That we do so many things and we have no idea why we're doing them, right? And so it's like this story of like, she was taught to cut the ham, like at Thanksgiving dinner, to cut the sides off the ham and make ham, right? And her husband one time was like, why do you cut the ham like that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And she's like, I don't know. That's how my mom taught me, you know? And she's like, you're going to have to ask my mom. Her mom comes over for Thanksgiving dinner, and the husband's like, why do you guys cut off the sides of the ham? You know? And she's like, I don't know. My mom has always cut off the sides of the ham, you know? So that's how I was taught. So the grandma ends up coming over for dinner. And so they finally ask the grandma, like, why do you cut off the sides of the ham? Like, does it make it taste better? You know, you're like trying to think logically. And she's like, oh, like my oven used to be too small for the ham. So I literally had to cut off the sides of the ham, you know, to put it in the oven. And it's like, holy shit, you know, it's 2020 and we're cutting the sides off the ham for no reason because we have big ovens now, right? Yes. And so it's like, that is the power of our ancestors. Like, seriously, we have all of these rules and expectations and obligations that don't fit the narrative of what we're trying to create, right? They're created out of lack. They're created out of, like, honestly, obligation is a lot like what's coming through right now. And it's like, if you want to live a limitless like life, if you want to live abundantly and just be like out of pure desire, you have to let go of these things that sometimes you can't see, right? And like Soul is so good at looking at past lives and ancestrals and like all that lineage stuff and being able to like boop, 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 boop. Like, you don't need it anymore. Like, let's go, you know, like let's quantum leap. Like, let's go into pure desire. Let's go into heaven on earth, because that is your birthright. You're supposed to be rich and abundant on all levels.
Yes. I love that. Totally leads into like Michaela's question. She said, what exactly does it mean to judge? I feel like everyone has their own definition. Like for instance, for me, you know, as I was like breaking free of like my money programs, like I just remember things like my friends buying really expensive jeans, and I would be like, oh my God, like why would that doesn't make practical sense, you know, like, wow, that person's so frivolous. And it's such a tiny thought. I'm not actually even saying those words, but I have a feeling, you know, I'm like, ugh, like not okay, not safe, basically. Like that's the judgment, you know, versus that hero story could be you. So, but basically it's like, why? That person's here to enjoy life, but I didn't have those understandings before. You know, my understanding was life is hard, you got to suffer, and you have to save every little thing that you can because you don't know when the next horrible thing is about to happen, or you don't know when the shoe's going to drop. So if you live with those set of like glasses, like those eyes, of course, like you're like, okay, don't buy anything unless it's food, you know, like don't do anything unless it's just like your basic core needs, which like that doesn't make any sense anymore. There's no tigers running after me anymore, you know? So,
right.
Yes. So
for me, like when I think about judgment, like in a very simple, like one-liner, is judgment is just separation, right? It's just a belief that we're separate, right? Like, that's it. Like, yeah. And if it's not true, so it doesn't make us feel good, right? Like when we judge someone and we're like, you're better than me or you're worse than me, or whatever it is, it's not true because like, so like then there's constriction, the body doesn't feel good, and like depending on your habits and thought forms, you start going into whatever it is, right? But it's just, judgment is like fear, separation, honestly, that to me, that's like how I embody.
I'm going to add on to that. So it's like,
I love it.
Judgment is the fear, is the separation, right? So judgment is anything that doesn't feel good in your system, which is basically, that just means it's not of the truth. Anything that is not alignment with the truth makes you feel bad because that's not actually the vibration that you're at, which means judgment is just when you're focusing on something that doesn't make you feel good. So that focusing on something that is not of the truth, that's when there's a bad feeling, and that's what that judgment is. So when you're believing in something that is not true, that's where that judgment comes in. And I feel
especially with others, you know, like I feel like there's like this barrier.
Exactly.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
Yeah. So we have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that that we have created questions for you guys, right? Because when we tap into the virtue of trust, it's so multidimensional, right? There's so many layers, and yes, we're on a live stream, and this is such a beautiful container. But to really embody the magic and the medicine of this topic, you have to go within. Right. And like, we're all about that at Soul. It is like radical responsibility on how you're feeling, right? And what you're creating. And that is within yourself, because that magic and medicine really is in you. Right. So if you just found us on Facebook, right, you just saw that we're live and you didn't see any of our promos and all that stuff, we would invite you to go into Soulit and opt in to this, you know, free masterclass. You just put your email in. Essentially, we need your email, and we'll send you some journal prompts just for this class, you know, downloaded from Spirit into like this nice little template. And so we really want you to really bring this home, right? Because if you guys remember that this is a 3-day class, this is not just like, okay, here, see you later. It's like we're building, we're bringing momentum. And tomorrow we're going even deeper into Shadow Goddess. So we really want you to do this inner work. So when you show up tomorrow, that you're already like, we're moving forward, right? We're embodying this.
Yes, I love it so much. And today is one of the rare opportunities that you'll get to sign up for Wild Femme Magic. If you're just already feeling the vibe, you're like, oh my gosh, like, what is that? I want to dive in deeper. I want to discover like my own mysteries. I want to like tune into like my own gems, my own magic. Today we have it at pre-sale, which is like $1,555, and we also have a payment plan option as well. I think it's like $555.
3 times,
right? Yeah, 3 times. Yeah. But anyways, so it's like if anybody is like really ready, just message us and we'll send you over the link. And it's starting June 22nd. The J's. In Chinese, all the months are just numbers. Anyways, so June 22nd is like when we're starting, and you know, the moment you sign up, you're already in the container, in the portal. We've had a couple people sign up already, and they've already been experiencing like transformation in their life. And so it's really nice to sign up early. So if anybody's like ready to just dive in, we're going to kind of go more into like the details of it like a few days later. But just like if you're already feeling it, you're like, I'm ready. I want to be in. I want to do the work. I want to explore my shadow. I want to like step into the most powerful, most like future expressive version of you. You're ready for that. Just like, you know, just let us know.
And this pre-sales until when again?
Pre-sale is until the beginning of our masterclass tomorrow. So
Yeah,
like 24 hours.
24 hours
from now.
So, you know, I want to share these questions. I feel like it's really important for us to maintain the vibration of virtue of trust, right? It's going to carry us through the next 3 days. And again, like these 3 days are a journey, right? Like there's such a journey into yourself, and we want to be so fully expressed with you. And again, like if you guys remember at the beginning of the live stream, Sam was saying, like, you had to show up 110%, right? You had to show up here and be here. Momo, do you want to read the questions?
Yeah, so we've talked about most of them. So the first part is just like opening you up to your desires so you can see them, feel them, and like touch them, right? So the questions are, if there was no consequence to anything that you did, and if you already felt safe and enough as of now, what would you allow yourself to actually desire, right? What is it that you truly desire? And then going even deeper, the questions would be, why do I actually want this? What is my why? What is that quality that I'm looking for that I think that I want, or that I think I'm going to get by having that desire, right? So the quality would be like that freedom, or that safety, or that exhilaration, whatever that quality of the emotion is. And then there's a few more.
I can't hear you, Momo, but I wanted to dive into the why a little bit. Can everyone else hear Momo? I can't hear her, so.
I can hear.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear.
Sorry, it was so weird. I couldn't hear her for like, but I wanted to dive into the why a little bit, because it's easy to go into your mind and say, oh, my why is this, because in your mind, you're saying, this is what a good girl wants, or this is what a good person wants. And we want you to like go into your body and feel into the why. Like, what is your wild, powerful, passionate why? Why did you come onto the planet? Like, what is your why? What do you want to change here? Like, if you were to like really dive deep into your vivid imagination, like, what do you see changed on the planet? What do you see changed in your personal life?
Yes. So the deeper you go, the more transformation that you get to receive, right? And get to journey with us in the next 3 days. So just remember to sign up and give us your email, and we'll send you some thought-provoking questions.
Yeah, and the deeper that your trust gets to build in the magic of who you are.
Yes, it's the foundation of the class. We are so intentional in how we created this master class, and we had to be we had to embody trust to move into the shadow and know that it's okay to move there. So yes, this is good deep work that needs to happen.
Yes. We'd love to get some feedback. How's everyone feeling? Let us know what your vibe is right now. And just again, like if anybody's like ready to sign up for Wild Femme Magic, just let us know and we'll just send you the link. And we're so excited. It's going to be a 4-week journey. You're going to get us live 2 times a week and 4 modules, 4 Q&As. It's going to be really, really incredible. So
yes.
Yay!
And you get a sacred crystal moonstone.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Mason?
Yeah, so the first 10 people that sign up for Wild Femme Magic gets a intuitively created just for you moonstone by Sacred Crystal. Yes, we all wear them. I don't have mine on right now, but made by Ricardo, who's such a wonderful creator and intuitive, who talks to the stones and creates magic. So it's really a fun opportunity to get a free crystal that you'll send your photo over to him. He wraps it for you. There's so many key codes of like abundance, and the frequencies there just like it's magic. So first 10 people that sign up for Wild Femme, we are sending you a crystal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't really see here, but it's like so powerful. Like, I feel like it literally changes my vibration. Like, you know, my aura is just like 10 notches up because of that.
Yes. And it's just, for me, it's like that personal touch, right? It's not like you're going to the store and just buying like a crystal, a necklace. Like, it's like made for you. The intention, like the vibes of it are just like out of this world. So
Yeah.
yes. Oh, his name is Ricardo Mendoza. We started Sacred Crystal Company in 2015 together. I don't know if you can see. No, probably not. I don't know. I'm trying. It's like really bright in here. So yeah, he's amazing. You should follow him on Instagram. He is Indigo's dad.
Yes.
The
It's so
best.
Getting awesome feedback. I'm feeling really calm. Thank you so much. Feeling humbled, nervous and light. Whatever you're feeling, sit with it, feel into it, let yourself feel it, and just be in it. Just be.
Yes. And replay this as many times as you need. Just know there's like there's energy key codes running throughout this live stream. We've been getting activations, initiations like all like the past few weeks. So it's like it's so much more than just our physical words. Just know it's like you're really like, you know, you're getting the activations, you're getting the portal, you're getting the downloads. So take time for yourself, drink water, get a massage. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can right now, but whatever you can do to like get yourself.
Massage yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's just get everyone grounded back down. So we're leaving the 7th plane. We're coming back into our bodies. We're zooming in through your Merkaba, your energetic spaceship, coming back, big, beautiful breaths. Feel that you're bringing in all the magic, all the books that you needed, all of the energy downloads that you needed, anything that you needed from that 7th plane. Feel that you're gathering it, bringing it with you as you come back into the earth world. Big, beautiful breaths. And I'm seeing a lot of you have become friends like in the higher planes here. So that's also super magical. If there's anyone in this group that you feel called to connect with, like I highly recommend that because, you know, like having high vibe people connect with other high vibe people just creates more sparkles of magic. So I highly recommend that. I'm seeing that really clearly. So just big, beautiful breaths. And I'm seeing everyone's crown chakras being optimized and updated. Feel hydrated in your body, sparkles all through your system, grounding your grounding cord back into the earth. Big, beautiful breaths. And if you need to just like just touch yourself, touch the bottoms of your feet, massage the bottoms of your feet, your calves, and just ground yourself and bring yourself back in. And we're so excited. We're going to see you same time tomorrow. And
I'm so excited.
Let's get this party rolling.
Yes. Love you guys so much.
Love you guys.
Ciao.